Let's just forget about the robot apocalypse for a second. What if I told you the biggest question we all ask about AI is the completely wrong one? Today, we're going to look at artificial intelligence in a totally new light, not as something that's here to replace us, but as a partner that actually unlocks our own best abilities. You've heard it, right? It's the question on everyone's mind. Will AI take my job? Will it replace me? I mean, it's the scary thought humming under every new tech announcement, every mind-blowing demo. But what if, by obsessing over this replacement question, we're missing the real, much more exciting story? Yeah, focusing on us versus them totally misses the point. It frames the future like it's some kind of battle, a zero-sum game where there can only be one winner. But the real revolution isn't about conflict at all. It's about a partnership that could change everything about how we work, learn, and even think. And that brings us to the core idea. The future isn't a prize for either humans or machines. It belongs to the people who get that we complete each other. The winners aren't going to be just humans or just AI. They'll be the humans who figure out how to work with AI. Okay, so, Section 1, the wrong question. Look, to build any good partnership, you have to be really honest about your own weaknesses. And, well, when it comes to just taking in huge amounts of information, we humans, we've got some pretty big blind spots. It really is like a tale of two intelligences. At the most basic level, just reading and listening, we are fundamentally different. We as humans, we kind of skim, our minds drift off. AI, it reads everything, and it listens perfectly. Let's dig into that.
First up, our reading problem. Let's be real, we are a species of skimmers. When was the last time you were faced with a giant wall of text, like, say, the terms and conditions for a new app? Did you read every single word? No way. Nobody does.
Oh man, we've all been there. You just scroll, find that little box, click I agree, and just hope for the best. You're basically trusting that a giant corporation has your best interests at heart, because who has the time to read all of that? We just tell ourselves, the fine print probably doesn't matter.
But it does matter. The hidden costs of all that skimming are huge. Buried deep in that legal jargon are things that affect your money, your right to your own property, your privacy, and what companies can do with your data. This isn't just a bad habit. It has serious, real-world consequences.
And it's not just our eyes that wander, it's our ears too. We have a listening problem. Think about it. In a conversation, how much are you really listening versus just waiting for your turn to talk? Or in a long meeting, your brain just checks out, right? We simply can't capture every single word. Our brains just aren't built for it.
So we're skimmers, and our minds wander. That's the human condition. But this is exactly where AI comes into the picture. Not as our replacement, but as the perfect tool to make up for our weaknesses. And it does it with two kind of boring, but absolutely incredible superpowers. These superpowers are the exact opposite of our weaknesses. Number one, exhaustive reading. It doesn't get bored, it doesn't skim, it reads every single word. And number two, perfect listening. It never gets distracted, it captures every single detail. These aren't flashy, creative skills, but they are the absolute foundation of understanding anything. I want you to really think about what that means. You can hand an AI a 66-page legal document, something that would make our eyes glaze over, and it will consume it. Every sentence, every clause. It gives the last page the same intense focus as the first. It's like a giant floodlight on all the boring, important details we always skip. And you have to understand, this isn't just about saving a bit of time. This is a massive categorical shift in power. For centuries, the power has been with the people who write the complicated contracts. Now, for the first time ever, anyone can instantly understand what's in them. That's a rebalancing of the scales, a shift of power back to the individual. And then you have that second superpower, listening. An AI can process a 3-hour meeting or a critical courtroom testimony, and it won't miss a single thing. It doesn't have an ego, so it's not sitting there thinking about what it's going to say next. It doesn't get tired, it just listens, creating a perfect, flawless, searchable record of what was actually said. So, what do you get when you put our human weaknesses on one side and AI's superpowers on the other? Well, that's where the magic really happens. Not in a fight, but in a synthesis. This is what we call the partnership principle.
So the partnership principle is actually pretty simple. The real breakthrough comes when we stop trying to compete with AI and we start partnering with it. We let the machine do what it does best, all that heavy lifting of reading and listening, so that we are free to do what we do best, use our judgment, our wisdom, and our intuition.
The division of labor is beautiful and clean. The AI handles the inputs, all the raw data.
And the human, we handle the meaning. We take all that perfectly organized information and we ask the important questions. So what? Why does this matter? And what do we do now?
And just think about what that unlocks for us. When we're not drowning in the cognitive load of just taking in information, our uniquely human skills get amplified. Our judgment gets sharper. We can trust our intuition more. We actually have the mental space for things like empathy, for connecting the dots in a creative way, and for understanding the most important thing of all, the why.
So, this new partnership doesn't just change how we get work done. It completely redefines what intelligence even means. It ushers in a whole new reality. The winners of this new era aren't going to be the people who build the fanciest algorithms. The winners are going to be the people who develop two things: the humility to let a machine listen perfectly, and the wisdom to take that perfect information and interpret it like a human.
And that right there is the final mind-bending idea. The most powerful intelligence of the future isn't artificial, and it isn't human. It's relational. It's the intelligence that's created in the space between us and our tools. So the question isn't man versus machine. The real question is, how good a dance partner are you willing to be?